Hi, Wellington.
Hi,
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good. Where are you calling from?
In Brazil.
Awesome. Maybe Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo?
No, no, no. I live in São Luís.
Awesome. Yeah, so
The top.
yeah, so like usually so I get the same thing a lot, right? So like usually if I talk to someone from Brazil, usually you automatically assume that they're from Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo. I'm sure you hear that all the time, right? But I also get
Yeah.
the same thing. I get the same thing where I'm at. So I'm from Illinois in the United States. So in Illinois, the state that I live in, the biggest city is Chicago, right? So anytime anybody hears I'm
Mhm.
from Illinois, they're like, so if somebody from another state asks where I'm from, I'll say, oh, I'm from Illinois. They'll be like, oh, Chicago. I'll be like, no, no, not Chicago. So yeah, I get the same thing a lot that you probably get with the Rio de Janeiro thing. Actually, here,
There
I'll
was
zoom in. This is where I live,
nearby nearby your city. There's a city called St. Louis.
St. Louis,
It's
Missouri.
like my city.
Have you ever heard of it before? So you probably
It's
have. This
named
is where
like my.
this is where the Gateway Arch is. This is where the archway to the west is. So this is like this
Yeah,
very
that's
tall. There's actually an elevator system.
sounds like my. Mhm.
It sounds like what?
Sounds like my city.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, Sao Luis. Oh, so Sao actually probably means saint,
uh,
doesn't it? Yeah,
Saint,
cool.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so
Mhm.
Sao and saint. So it Saint is actually spelled like this, but they shorten it to
Saint is
this.
many the same thing. Many.
Yeah, cool. So that's very interesting. Yeah, so I live very close to St. Louis, Missouri. So yeah, so if anybody ever hears where I'm from, this is where I'm from, Centralia, a very, very, very small town. There's only about 20,000 people that live here.
Mhm.
Actually, where is my house? There's my house. Let's see. That's my house right here, actually. I'm sitting
Okay,
right here. I'm sitting right
but
here
you
in this
live
room. hmm
today.
This little, this little,
Do you live in the United States?
yes, yes, yeah. So actually, I'll zoom out. I'll show you exactly. Oop, go back. Take that off. Oop, nope, take
Nice.
that off. Yeah, so basically, it's right there in the U.S., right in the
I
middle.
like this kind of home house.
So I'm not too far. I could actually drive. I could drive to Brazil. So you're
So it's at the top.
Sao
No,
Luis.
for left.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, beautiful, beautiful.
Mhm. Far
Take me
more.
to the beach.
I live far
Hang on.
from the beach.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
What is this place? Oh, a bar. Oh wow, right on the beach. Oh wow, this is so cool. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna have to start learning Portuguese. I'm moving to Brazil. Let's back out just a little bit. So, what part of the town do you live in?
For the down,
Do you live close to the beach?
uh, could you research
I've heard of this
this
before.
name?
Sal
Research it.
Cristobal. Is that how you
Maybe
pronounce this?
nearby background. São Cristóvão. It's
Yeah,
nearby my home.
I've heard of this place before. Is it a very famous tourist resort?
What?
Is this like a very famous tourist resort for tourists?
I don't know. Famous what? It's like a
Like
famous.
for tourism. Is it famous for tourism? Are there a lot of
No,
tourists?
no.
Tourists.
I think that the famous part for tourism in my state is called uh,
Ooh, Buenos Aires.
you know,
Lençóis Maranhenses. No, it doesn't give me a translation. I've never heard of it before.
it's like domes with lakes between the domes
Oh, look,
are
you
the
even have. Okay, so this is very interesting also. So there's also a Sao Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah, yeah. There's a city in the United States.
Yeah, San Francisco, which is very close. So, but it's Spanish, I believe.
I live in this name.
Jardim. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right in the middle. Awesome. Oh, wow, cool. Can I go to the street view? Yeah, awesome. Oh, neat. Look at your roofs. That's very interesting. Architecture. This might not be the best road. Let's go down the road a little bit. We'll drive down here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
The house in your city, I think, is made of.
Wood.
It's like I don't know.
Oh, this is really cool. Oh, wow.
It's like made of woods.
Yeah, most of it, most all of them. We have some that are, like, for instance, let me zoom in here. We have some buildings that are, what street is this? Let's go right in here somewhere. So, for instance, we still have a lot of buildings that are like
There,
um,
there is
brick.
not wires. Uh, I think
Yeah,
the
there are.
wires
There are like
are
some.
best into the floor
Yeah, not on this
or
road
into
there
the
aren't,
ground.
but you'll there are some. You see them here. We'll go down here. I'll show you
Okay,
some. There are some down this way a little more. There's some, for instance.
there is.
Yeah, this is my town. This is called the splash pad. This right here is called the bell tower. We'll go down there and look at it. This is a church in my town. This is the road that I live on. I live further down that way. Um,
There's many churches around in your town. And what is this church is Catholic?
yeah, here's another one. I'll show you another one. There's churches everywhere. Here's another church.
Beautiful building.
This one's not even like one of our pretty churches. Like some of the Catholic churches that we have like stained glass windows. Like these windows aren't even all that pretty, but let's see. I'll go to another church. We even have a mosque. Like, oh, here's the bell tower. I was wanting to show you this. My city is famous for this bell tower.
Yeah.
Well, let me go that way. Can I go that way? How do I get over there? Okay, hold on. There's got to be another way to get there. Let me go that way. Oh, it won't let me. Hold on. We can get there from over here. I think. Maybe. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Oh, darn it. Here. Well, there's an alley. Maybe we can get down this alley and I can show you. I'll just go down the alley. Oh, no. Please, let's go down the alley. Oh, darn it. I was wanting to show you a better picture of this bell tower. This thing is really cool. So they have a piano hooked up to it, like a keyboard. And
Yeah.
whenever you hit
The
like a
keyboard.
specific note, it rings one of the bells in the top of the bell tower. So like they hire these like famous pianists to come in and play piano, and it plays music on the bell tower during the daytime. And then also whenever they don't have a famous pianist like come there to play it, like they'll just have like a normal pianist that plays it all the time. And whenever every hour on the hour, they will play a little song for the clock changing time. Like say it changes, say it's 1 p.m. They'll play this song, and it goes dong 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 dong, and then the bell will ring for whatever time it is. If it's 1 o'clock, it'll ring one time. It'll go dong. Let's say it's like 5 o'clock. It'll go dong 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 dong, and everybody in town knows it's 5 o'clock without even looking at their watch, just by hearing the sound of the bell tower. And then every half hour, it'll play a little sound to let you know that the half hour has gone by. They only do it during the daytime, though. But that can be a nuisance for some people because some people work at night and sleep during the daytime. So you're hearing this bell tower like all day long while you're trying to sleep if you work on a night shift somewhere. So that can kind of be a nuisance sometimes. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Like sometimes during the summertime, they'll have a concert out here. Like, let me see if I can go back over here and see if we can see it. It's hard to see
At
from
my
right here.
home, at my home, there's a similar situation because sometimes I like to play songs in the night and when my parents are sleeping.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So like
sometimes I press.
this whole area out here, like during the summertime, like people like bring all kinds of chairs and they just like sit around up here and listen to music that they play on here. Also, have you ever heard of the game? Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Okay, Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Have
It's,
you ever heard of that
oh,
game?
Pokemon. No,
So like,
I have friends that like this game, but I don't like.
oh, okay. Well, this is one of the
I like to play
Pokestops.
soccer.
Oh, cool.
What?
So what we would call for some reason, well, we call it soccer. I can't believe you said soccer. Normally people say football, and then I'm like, well, in the United
Soccer, yeah.
States we call it soccer, and I have no idea why we call it soccer. Then we have what's known as American football, where you pick up the ball and you run with it. You don't kick it with your feet. Might kick it with your feet every once in a while if you kick a field goal, but other than that, like you don't touch it with your feet. So I don't know why they call it football and why they call soccer
But
soccer. It makes no sense.
American football, they play using the feet
Well,
as
not
well.
really. They only kick it for the kickoff, and then the only other time you touch it with your feet is whenever there's like a field goal kicker trying to kick a field goal. Other than that, that's the only two times during the game that somebody will try to kick a ball. Every other time, they're throwing the ball, they're running the ball, they're catching the ball, they're passing the ball. Yeah, so it shouldn't be called football at all. So that's just like one
I
of those
don't
stupid
understand the
things.
rules. I don't understand the rules about American football and maybe baseball. Sometimes I watch on TV, but I don't understand
You
the
you don't have
rules.
baseball. You don't have baseball in Brazil,
No, no.
really? Wow, that's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that.
But
So there's like a lot of
but
countries that have baseball.
I
Um,
think that's interesting. But I don't
yeah.
understand it when I watch it.
So so is football or is soccer football? Is it the most popular sport in Brazil?
No, there's another popular Brazil similar to American football, rugby.
Rugby. Yeah, I've heard of rugby.
Yeah, you
I
know.
don't see. I don't know the rules of rugby. I've never. I know that they wear helmets,
No,
right?
I think it's popular in Australia,
Oh,
Brazil.
cool.
I thought was popular in the United States.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody play rugby before in my entire life. Yeah, like it's not a common thing here at all. Like I don't know if a lot of people might not even know what rugby is. Um,
But it's very similar to the American football, but people don't use the same clothes, the same
yeah, don't they wear like a leather
things.
helmet or something? I think they wear
Oh,
like
what?
oh, sorry. I
Uh,
said, don't they wear like a leather helmet or something? Isn't don't they wear like a softer leather helmet made out of
no,
leather?
they use nothing.
Oh, really?
But I don't know this word letter.
I wonder what it is in Portuguese. Let me look it up.
Okay.
Kuru.
No, the rugby
Kuru.
people.
Did I pronounce that right? Oh, interesting.
I think they use only clothes, normal clothes, like a soccer
Okay,
players,
cool. Huh.
without protections.
Looks like are you studying English for business right now?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Let's see. This is all right. These are some very good vocabulary words for business, actually. Um, we don't necessarily use a lot of these words, but in business, you will use this word for sure. A lot of these are very okay. So let's just go over these real quick. All right. So work style, the way someone thinks about, structures, organizes, and completes their work. So people have different styles in which they work. And I think it depends on kind of like their learning styles, right? Like whether they're a visual learner, whether they're a hands-on learner. I think it also has an effect on their work style, like the way that they do things, the way that they organize things, and things like this. So everybody works in a different way. Some people might have like a clean desk. Some people might not be able to function with a clean desk. They might have to have a messy desk, or they won't know where their stuff's at, you know? So it's just kind of a weird thing. Like whenever you're working with other people, like sometimes your work styles
what
don't mesh
what
well.
what what is your job?
Okay, so right before Corona hit, I was a guitar instructor, right? So I've played guitar most of my life as a hobby. And then finally, I was able to finally actually get my dream job and start teaching people how to play guitar for the first time in my life. I became a guitar instructor. And then COVID hit.
And
And so, like, a lot of the parents don't want to bring their kids up there to learn how to play guitar with COVID going around and we're supposed to be social distancing and to play guitar, like, you've got to go up there and touch their hands and move their hands around and show them exactly what to do, right? So there is no social distancing playing guitar. You have to like show them what to do. So yeah, so I lost to like a lot of students over the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and so then I found this a few months ago, and I started doing this, and this is pretty much all I do now. Really, like I have one guy that comes over for guitar lessons still, but other than that, like that's about it. Like nobody wants to bring their children around for guitar lessons, and I don't blame them, So, and I'm kind of thankful that it all happened like this because now this job opens up the possibility of me being able to travel. Like I can do this job anywhere that there's electricity, anywhere that there's internet. I can go somewhere else and live. Like I had actually considered moving to
Mm.
Rio de Janeiro for a while, like in Brazil, but I don't know Portuguese, but I think there's a lot of people in Rio de Janeiro that speak English, so I would be able to get by.
Yeah, in
And if
São
it's
Paulo, mainly in São Paulo.
yeah,
I
and it's
think
it's
so.
very touristy spot too, right? So like I think it'd be all right. But yeah, like, and then I would love to go maybe teach in China for a couple of years in the future. Um, I'd also considered maybe moving to Turkey because the the Turkish lira conversion rate to English or to the U.S. dollar is so good for us. Like so, basically, 13 U.S. cents equals one Turkish lira. I could work for 5 hours a week and pay my bills for the entire month, only working 5 hours a week if I lived in Turkey. So that would be insane. I could just move there and save up so much money. So yeah, I'd consider
I want
doing
to
that.
move for I want to move for Philippines or any country in Asia.
The
I
Philippines
think
would be very cool. Do you speak any
yeah,
Tagalog?
I have friends in the Philippines, but they speak only English. I don't speak Filipino. That
Yeah, so
is
Filipino
the language.
Filipino is actually called Tagalog. It's
But first I but
Tagalog.
first I want
It is very similar to
yeah, what is it?
in here Tagalog, or maybe it's spelled Tagalog like this without the spaces. So this is the language that they speak there. So the thing is that the Spanish colonized the Philippines for 333 years. So in Tagalog, they have a lot of Spanish influence on their language, right? So I think that maybe it would be hard for you to learn how to speak it because Spanish is very close to Portuguese, and whenever you have sister languages like that, like sometimes you have like what are known as false sisters, right? Like the same word
Yeah,
might you might pronounce it the exact same, but it means two different things completely in different languages. So for instance, like they have like
but
radio
but
radio
but
station is the Siang ng Radio
when
in Tagalog. It sounds
but
very
when
similar.
someone from Spanish or any country that speaks Spanish, uh, the Brazilians get to understand.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
I
it's
have
harder
two
for
friends.
isn't it harder for
I have
Portuguese people to understand Spanish people than it is for Spanish people to understand Portuguese people? Or is it the other way around?
I don't know. I don't know. I know that I had two friends from
Peru?
Peru, yeah, and they speak Spanish. But when they speak one each other, I don't understand because they speak fast.
Very
But
fast, yeah.
when they speak to me, I understand. I got almost all of they speak.
Well, it's also hard to learn a language like that whenever they're very close because then you're always wondering if the word is the same or not, right? So, for instance, English and German are very, very. English is a Germanic language. Like English came originally from
Yeah.
German at one time. So that's why it's probably such an. But we have a lot of other words that have been integrated into English from Italian and Spanish and French and just all over the world, right? English is a bunch of different languages just mashed up. But at its root, English derives, it's a Germanic language. So we have a lot of the same words in English that they have in German. They just have like a slight different pronunciation. For instance, in the United States, the first grade that you go to whenever you go to school is called kindergarten. In German, it is also called Kindergarten. It's the same word, it's pronounced slightly different. But for instance, let's say that I'm trying to learn German. All of a sudden, I'm trying to speak German and I can't think of the word kindergarten because I don't know that it's the same word. So I'm trying to think of a different word. I'm like, man, it's got to be a different word because it can't be the same word that it is in English, right? So, but there's so many words that are the same. So then you're stuck thinking, trying to think of a different word when it's the same word all along. And I think that's the same thing whenever you're like trying to transition from Portuguese to Spanish. Like a lot of the words are the same. Um, I think there's a word, I can't remember the word. Doesn't like sister or marriage or death or something like that means like the same thing like in Portuguese as it does in Spanish? Like I know that there's a big difference. I can't remember if it's death or marriage or sister or some maybe I don't know. I'll have to look it up and that
Hermano
way.
and sisters
Oh,
hermana.
Armando. Yeah.
Wife
Okay.
is hermano. Wife. I don't
Leche,
know.
baby leche. No, leche is baby.
Leche
Baby.
is milk.
Oh, leche
Leche
is
is
milk.
milk.
Baby is
Yeah.
drink. Baby is drink milk.
Yeah.
You quieres leche, baby. Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay. Yeah, see, I don't know Spanish very well. I haven't practiced Spanish in over 20 years, so I don't really know any Spanish anymore. But like, I
but
haven't, I know a little bit about a lot of different languages. Like, I've studied a little bit, and then I'll get bored with it, and then I'll move on and want to study something else, and then I'll get bored with it and move on and want to study something different. But yeah, it's kind of like right now I'm
mhm.
learning Chinese, like Mandarin Chinese.
Chinese. At my city, there's a lot of Chinese.
Yeah,
And
probably all from
yeah,
they probably all come from Fujian province in China. They probably speak Fujianese
I don't know. I don't
and
know.
Mandarin.
The
Like,
downtown,
do they own
they
a
have
restaurants?
stores. The downtown, yeah, restaurants
Restaurants?
and
Yeah, so they're probably
stores.
from Fujian. They're probably from Fujian. Like almost any time you meet somebody in another country that has a
But
Chinese
I
restaurant,
don't know this.
they're
The
almost
details,
always
I don't,
yeah.
I
So
don't know. But
it's the same. It's the
I
same
know
everywhere you go.
that. For me, the same thing.
Yeah, so we have a lot of
Mandarin.
Chinese restaurants all over the United States, and they're all from Fujian province also too. So like I want to go
Okay,
in there and practice my Mandarin, but a lot of them don't speak Mandarin; they speak Fujianese, so I can't practice with them. So it's
okay,
kind of a
but
bummer sometimes. But oh my gosh, we're
maybe
already out of
next
time.
time.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
okay,
Wellington, it
sure.
was very nice meeting you. I had a good conversation with you.
Nice to meet you too.
I hope to see you again in the future sometime.
Okay,
Have a good
thanks.